Okay, this is part 2 of the tutorial that we're using to set up some coupons. Because these are seasonal coupons, we're going to put graphics that pertain to the end of October. I'm going to use my vector tools and possibly the pen tool, the pencil tool, to create some vector shapes, which I am going to do off of my artboard so that I can drag them in as I see fit. So some seasonal shapes that I normally see this time of year, and I'm going to go through these quickly. You should take your time. Um, we certainly know what seasonal colors are. I'm just going to create a really fast jack-o'-lantern. I'm just using ellipse tool and option click and drag just to duplicate the shape. And if I'm not happy with that shape, if I think I might want to draw with the pencil tool instead, and I don't know, make a crummy looking pumpkin, a really crummy looking pumpkin, I can always fill that in with, hey, that's what, I went to the supermarket the other day and the pumpkins look just like that. So as long as I don't touch the line that's there, I can sort of assemble my pumpkin. Okay, so it's like the starriest looking pumpkin I've ever drawn. I'm going to just click and drag to select both of those things. I'm going to use my Pathfinder, which if you don't see Pathfinder, my Pathfinder panel's over here, but if you don't see it, you should go look in Window menu and make sure Pathfinder is checked. And as always, if, I don't know, some of your panels sort of slide off your work area, you can always go to Application Frame and make sure that's checked. And that'll usually bump all the panels into one area so you can see them. So I'm going to use Pathfinder. I've got both the stem that I drew and the sorry looking pumpkin shape. And I'm just going to use Unite to make that all one thing. Now I'm going to use my pen tool. Pen tool to, and I'm going to choose another color just so you can see what I'm doing. That was not what I wanted to do. I'm going to deselect the pumpkin and choose my pen tool and pick another color and just draw a triangle, which is going to become the eye of my pumpkin. I don't want to leave it black. I'm going to show you in a second like what I'm going to do to it. Classic pumpkin eye. I'm going to hold down Option, click, and drag and just duplicate it really fast rather than redraw it because that's a pain in the neck. To make the mouth, I think I'm going to use Ellipse tool, and I'm going to use my Direct Select tool to manipulate the handles that are here and change the look of the mouth so that it looks a little bit more mouth-like. I'm also going to use rectangle tool. Hey, what's a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern without teeth? Again, I'm just going to make this a different color so you can see what I'm doing. Hold down Option, click and drag. Zoom in so we can see what we're doing. Option, click and drag. And Option, click and drag again to put one down here. Okay, so I'm going to do two knockouts with this. I'm going to click and drag to select the entire mouth, go back over to my Pathfinder. All these rectangle teeth shapes are in front. So if I click minus front, it's going to knock out those shapes, which is what I wanted. But I want all of these shapes knocked out of my pumpkin because I'm going to put a background in behind these, and I want the background to show through the pumpkin's eyes and mouth. So I'm going to do the same thing I just did to make the teeth. I'm going to select all those things. So everything's selected, pumpkin, eyes, mouth, and I'm going to go back over to my Pathfinder panel and sort of just knock out the eyes. So now if I drag this, I'll reduce down again so you can see. If I drag this over here, well, one, I'm going to have to reduce it down some more because it's kind of big. But if I put that there, you'll see the white background coming through because I did a knockout of the eyes. I'm going to do the same thing with ghost shape. I'll make sure nothing's selected. Change the color in here, choose a gray. Nothing's set in stone. I can always change it later. I'm going to use my pencil tool to do this just because it's easier for me to use pencil tool. You may want to use pen tool. That's just fine. And I'm just going to draw. I'll reduce it down later. I'm just drawing a simple ghost shape. And I'll do the same thing with knocking out the eyes. I'm leaving them the same color, so you're probably not going to see them. Okay, Option, click and drag. Maybe I bumped that one over a little bit. Okay, so Option, click and drag, go over to Pathfinder, and then I have a little spooky ghost. So I realized, oops, I didn't make another layer for that. So if I ever put something on the not on the right layer, or if I want to put a new layer, I can always create the layer later and not if I lock it. Select these, cut, lock that, go back to my spooky layer and paste. I'm just doing keyboard shortcuts, Command V to paste. So I can always put them in that way. I don't know if I think I want to like widen my pumpkin. It looked better kind of like widened out. I don't want it touching the edge of the dotted line. I'm thinking that the text maybe should be in front of this because I'm kind of obliterating it there. So I can always just drag this layer down and then the text will be on top of everything.